it's Sarah. Today's video is going to be an old school chit chat, get ready with me. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a long time and I just want to catch up with you guys. So I am going to just be putting on some makeup. I probably won't be specifically mentioning every product that I'm using, but everything will, as always, be linked and listed down below, so you can just check there if you're curious as to what I'm using. So I know I've seen Jessica Braun do this, and so I decided to copy her. She will normally ask on Instagram before she's getting ready to film chit chat, get ready with me, and just ask what topics people want her to talk about, questions, things like that. So I asked you guys on Instagram yesterday any topics or questions you wanted me to talk about. So I got quite a few from you. So I'm just gonna get started. I need to cut this open. This First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Primer, I am almost done with it and I'm gonna cut it open to get every last bit out. I have crazy flyaways right now. I didn't even know I had such flyaways until I put my hair up. So one thing that is definitely relevant to a lot of you, I'm sure, is that Physicians Formula, one of my favorite drugstore brands, is now on the Logical Harmony gray area brand list, which, if you're not familiar, Logical Harmony is the cruelty-free resource that I use most often. She has a few different lists. She has brands that are cruelty-free, brands that are pending, so like in the process of being approved but are not approved yet. Gray area, which means they can't be considered cruelty-free, but they also don't have enough information to consider them non-cruelty. Just got foundation on my jeans, no. By the way, I pulled back out my Pacifica Alight Clean Foundation, and I was not a fan of this foundation when I first tried it, but I wore it a couple days in a row for like Valentine's Day and the day before that also, and I loved it all of a sudden. Like, I hadn't used it in a few months and now suddenly I'm really liking it. I don't know, I'm not having as many skin issues as maybe I was when I first tried it, but I feel like it looks really smooth on my skin. It's like high coverage, but it just kind of makes my skin look like smooth porcelain. So I don't know, it's strange because I really didn't like it at first, but I'm glad I kept it and decided to give it another chance, because I don't know if it's just like maybe I found some really good skincare products that have helped my skin or just given me more of a smooth canvas for makeup, but wow, it looks so good. I feel like it just looks really healthy, yet pretty full coverage. And I've just been using one pump. Maybe I was over applying before. Yeah, I'm kind of going for full coverage right now, just because, I don't know, I've been kind of in a full coverage mood these past few days. So back to what I was talking about with Physicians Formula. The gray area brand list is for brands that can't be considered cruelty-free because there's something missing, but they also haven't been confirmed not cruelty-free yet, so they're kind of in this gray area. And then there's brands to avoid, which are definitely not cruelty-free. So Physicians Formula moved from the cruelty-free brand list to the gray area brand list. I had heard some rumors for the past couple months, and you guys might have heard these rumors too, but there had been some photos of Physicians Formula being sold in stores in mainland China, which really sounds an awful lot like what happened with Wet n Wild last year. And if you didn't know, Wet n Wild and Physicians Formula are both owned by Markwins, which is their parent company. So they're owned by the same company. Yeah, it does look very fishy. And I guess Tashina from Logical Harmony, I messaged her a little bit yesterday about it, and she's been reaching out to them, but they just haven't responded to any of her questions. So that's why they got moved to the gray area brand list, and it just looks really fishy. So I had seen those rumors going around, but I never want to just assume, because, you know, photos can be photoshopped, you know, you just never know. So I didn't want to just like jump to conclusions, and they were still approved by Logical Harmony at that time. So I just thought, you know, I'm just gonna wait until we get more information from a reputable source and not just rumors. So that's why I haven't said anything about it yet, but just yesterday one of you guys messaged me on Instagram to let me know that they had been moved to the gray area list. So bummer. I'm not gonna say, like, I don't know, I don't really have any information other than what Tashina said, but it really doesn't look great right now. So that's the story with that. I mean, I obviously, you guys should just do what feels right to you, but I will not be purchasing from Physicians Formula until either they do respond and they can prove that they're still cruelty-free. As long as they're on the gray area list, I won't be purchasing from them. I'm just kind of waiting to hear what Tashina finds out, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not surprising because, like I said, they're owned by the same company that owns Wet n Wild. And if you're curious as to, you know, why does it matter if they're being sold in China? The bottom line is, if brands are being sold in physical stores in China, they are subject to at least post-market animal testing. So that means that if a consumer were to have a complaint about a product or some sort of skin reaction or something, the government could then pull those products off the shelves and test them on animals. And in the case of Wet n Wild, they say, no, we are still cruelty-free because the laws in China have changed, which they have. Now brands like Wet n Wild can sell in China without having to test, without being subject to pre-market testing. So before the products are sold, they don't have to be tested on animals. But there's still that risk of post-market testing, which is why a lot of people do not consider Wet n Wild to be cruelty-free anymore, myself included. I also don't think it's really a black and white issue. Like, I feel like there could be arguments either way. I know Unnatural Vegan did a video about why she does still consider Wet n Wild cruelty-free. And I mean, she made some valid points. I do feel like in the cruelty-free beauty community, we're very like, we don't support Wet n Wild. They're not cruelty-free, period. I myself don't consider them cruelty-free. I don't buy from Wet n Wild anymore. But it's complicated. It's not black and white. So I'm not sitting here trying to tell people what to think because, well, obviously we don't even know for sure yet about Physicians Formula. We'll just have to wait and see. But think for yourself is what I'm trying to say. That sounded really sassy, but it's just me saying, like, you don't have to let YouTubers decide for you what you think about certain things. Like, you can decide for yourself. But I'm really bummed. Because like I said, they're one of my favorite brands. I love so many products from Physicians Formula. Their foundation, which they're discontinuing apparently their whole healthy line now anyway. So I guess they're not selling my favorite foundation anymore. Who cares? Kidding. There's that. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news if you hadn't heard that yet. But basically my stance is, at least right now, won't be buying from them. If they are able to explain themselves and say, oh no, those are fake photos, or we're pulling out of China now, or something like that, then, you know, obviously if they do go back to being 100% cruelty-free, I would of course resume purchasing from them and supporting them, but for now we'll be kind of holding off on buying from them. That was one thing that you guys wanted me to talk about because I posted it on my Instagram stories yesterday. But hey, we still got CoverGirl, we still got e.l.f., Milani, Jordana, ColourPop, NYX, Pixie. It's not really drugstore price, but you know, we've still got options. Pacifica, so don't get too discouraged. I know it's a real bummer, but several people asked me to give some updates on how I'm doing since I moved, how I'm liking where I moved to, just how I've been adjusting, things like that. One of you guys told me to try this Aether Beauty highlighter, apply it with my finger, and I did that the other day. It was beautiful. Really packs a punch. I still feel like I need a brush to just like blend it out completely, but yeah, really pretty. I really do love this highlighter, guys. So I feel like, I feel pretty much completely adjusted. I totally miss Seattle. That's not to say I wish I hadn't moved back or anything, but I do miss Seattle. But at the same time, I know I'm in the right place. I feel like I'm where I need to be and I'm happy. So, but yeah, the apartment's coming along. I've pretty much got it completely furnished. Now I'm just trying to kind of focus on decorating, but I want to do it slowly because I don't want to just buy a bunch of like cheap crap from like Walmart or TJ Maxx. Not that I haven't bought things from Walmart and TJ Maxx for my apartment, because I totally have, but things like paintings for the walls and stuff, I'm just kind of trying to take my time on that stuff because I'd rather find things that I truly love and maybe things that are like secondhand and stuff. But I actually just went thrifting this weekend and found some really cool wall decor, so I will actually be sharing that in a thrift haul. If it's not up, it will be up later this week. So yeah, I feel like the move went really well. One thing that I haven't shared yet, which I guess I'll go ahead and share now, I've been meaning to share it and I just, you know, I'm kind of a private person when it comes to like sharing my personal life online, but I am dating someone. We've actually been dating for, I guess, like 6 months now. He lives here, and we knew each other, we met in college, so we've known each other for a long time. And before you start assuming like, oh, that's why you moved back, is to be with him, I moved back for a lot of reasons. That was not the sole reason why I moved back here, but obviously it made me want to move back even more. And yeah, he's just a very sweet, special person, and I am really happy. So anyway, there's that. I've been meaning to share that for a while, And I don't know, I like to kind of take it slowly when it comes to sharing things like that, just because I don't, you know, it's the internet. It's hard to just have your whole life out there. So I do like to keep my personal life pretty private, but obviously I want to share certain things smartly. I do feel like that's been a pretty significant portion of my life over the last few months, so it only makes sense to mention that when I'm talking about, you know, how my life is going. Oh, another question related to Physicians Formula. What do you think your favorite foundation would be if Physicians Formula remains in the gray area? I don't know. I think I'd have to find a new foundation to be my favorite, because honestly nothing compares to it that I've tried. Although suddenly this Pacifica foundation kind of swooped in from behind, and now I'm really loving it. But it may just be one of those things that only works when my skin is in really good shape or something. I don't know. But I think I've heard really good things about the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I want to try that one. It sounds really nice. I thought that the Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation would be comparable to the Physicians Formula Healthy, but I don't like it. It's very dry to me, very dry and cakey. It's a thicker consistency than the Physicians Formula one. It just goes on my skin kind of thick, and I don't know, I just don't like it. I mean, it's wearable, I can wear it and it looks okay, but it's just not, I don't love it. So that one surprised me. I thought I would like that one a lot more, but maybe I'll like that one more in the summer, who knows. But yeah, I want to try the NYX Born to Glow. I obviously want it to be a drugstore foundation. I'm really not interested in trying high-end foundations just because I know that the drugstore makes some, you know, really solid foundations, so why would I want to spend 4 times the price on a high-end foundation if I don't have to? It's not that I would never try a high-end foundation, it's just that I'd rather my favorite holy grail foundation not be high-end. Wait, did I even finish answering the other question? Sorry, I'm all over the place. Going back to how I'm liking where I moved to and everything. So yeah, I love it. I lived here for 5 years before I moved to Seattle, so it's not like a new place for me. It just kind of feels like I came back, but I love it here. It is a lot cheaper than Seattle. I love having an apartment to myself. Heidi loves it. She has so much more space than she used to. I've never had my own place before, so it's been fun getting to just kind of take my time with decorating and just kind of slowly pick things that I really like and just really make it my own. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it's nice to be closer to my parents, and I don't really feel like there was much of an adjusting period other than just getting settled into the apartment, just because I'm already familiar with this town. But yeah, it's been going really well. So another person asked about what movies and TV shows I've been liking. So lately, TV shows, we've been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's such a good show. If you like Seinfeld, it's a lot more like crude humor than Seinfeld, but it's so funny. If you like Larry David and that type of humor, it's hilarious. Like, I just die laughing every time. I think we're on season 9 now, but I didn't even realize that the show was still, I think it's still airing. I thought that it was already over, but I guess it's not. We'd been watching it on Amazon Prime, but then seasons 9 and 10 are only available on HBO, which I don't have HBO, so I've just been using like free trials. Oh, and then we also started watching The Good Place. We're only a couple episodes in though, but so far I like it. That one is on Netflix. And then the only movie I've watched recently was, I think, also on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but it's called Cat Heaven Island. It's a documentary about an island in Japan, very small island. It has a tiny population of, I think, under 100 people, and most of them are elderly. And this island has not had a need for a school since the 80s. Because it's just, the population has just, you know, grown up, and there haven't been any young people there for a very long time. So it's kind of a bittersweet story. But anyway, there are, I think, more cats than people on the island, and they're all very, like, domesticated. You know, they're not really feral. They all have relationships with the people, but yeah, Cat Heaven Island, I recommend that one. But yeah, those are the only things that I've been watching recently. I'm gonna do a little bit of this glitter. I'm wearing a lot of glitter lately. This is a fun eye look, I like it. Somebody asked, this is an interesting question, my thoughts on giveaways. I don't really have any strong opinions on other people that do giveaways. I mean, you know, you do you, but I've never done one and I don't know if I ever would. The thing about giveaways that, I don't know, I feel like they can be kind of a cheap way to earn followers when they're the kind where, you know, you have to follow the account in order to enter, and so it ends up attracting a lot of people who weren't following you before, and then those people end up following you maybe for the wrong reasons, and then you never know who's even gonna win. Like, it could be somebody who isn't really even like that active of a follower, or, you know, somebody who doesn't even really know who you are. They were just entering just for the sake of entering a giveaway. That's kind of why I've never done a giveaway before. I know there are ways to do them where it's really just for existing followers, but even then, I don't know, I just feel, sometimes I feel like they can be kind of tacky, you know? And like, maybe they don't really fit on my channel because I'm not really trying to promote like excessive acquiring of stuff. And a lot of times what you may end up winning in a giveaway might be a bunch of things that you may not even want. It's hard to curate a giveaway box that is full of like universally useful products. So I just don't know if it really fits for me. But I don't want that to come off as sounding like I don't want to give back to my subscribers or anything like that, because in that sense, you know, it is really cool because it's a chance to give something to, but usually the thing is it's usually goes to just one person, or sometimes there may be multiple winners, but still it's like I want to be able to give something to all my subscribers. I wish I could, you know? It's just, it seems like kind of a random, roundabout way to give back. So if anybody can think of other ideas or ways to do that kind of thing where I would be giving back in maybe a more feasible way, or a way that more people would be able to benefit from it, or I don't know, I just can't think of a way to go about it in a way that fits for me, but maybe one of you can think of an idea. This tea I just finished is so good. I just tried it for the first time today, but it is from the brand Steep by Bigelow, and the flavor is dandelion peach, I think. I'll try to link it below if I can find it, but so good. If you like peach tea, it's like a rooibos and green tea blend. So I just did a coat of CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume, and now I'm gonna top it with the e.l.f. Keep Your Curl. I've never done this before. I'm not usually one to layer mascaras, but I kind of just want to try it. I've been loving this e.l.f. Keep Your Curl mascara. It's so good. I'm gonna use the Burt's Bees. This was actually decluttered to me by my friend Sharon. This is their gloss lip crayon in Santorini Sunrise. It's like a peach lip crayon. It's actually, I think this is my first time wearing it. So I think that just about wraps up this chatty get ready with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I love doing these videos because it just gives me a chance to kind of catch up with you guys and chat. Yeah, I definitely plan to keep doing them pretty regularly, maybe every couple months or so. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you've not already. I'd love to have you back again soon. And like I said, everything will be listed down below in the description box if you want to check out the products I used, but I will talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye.